Hey everybody, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Well, welcome back, friends. Thanks for joining me for another weekly comic book review. We're going to jump right in with Captain America, issue number 16. Got my notes here. 52 out of 56 liked it with a 3.7 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And I give this book a 7.5. The writer is J. Michael Straczynski and the artist is Carlos Magno. Now, the new Warriors 3 Part 3 here we get, which we have good old Captain America, Spider-Man, and Thor. Yeah, they're trapped in a mirror dimension harboring Broxton's glory days, and the ghost of Thor's failures are really hitting him hard. Can Cap, Spidey, and Thor free those people from their death and their past? Can he revigorate a city? Well, only time will tell. I would tell you, I really like the standard cover for this issue. I think it's good. There's some good character banner in this issue as well as decent art and decent action. Now, normally I like my Captain America more grounded, but then again, when he's in Avengers, I'm fine with it. So maybe I'm a little bit hypocritical there. I like him, the big things in the Avengers, more grounded stories for him alone, but I did enjoy this, even though I haven't been a big fan. Well, I've enjoyed Captain America, but not as much as I was hoping to with Straczynski, but he's given it a spin with this story arc that I did tend to enjoy, and I thought it was a little bit heartwarming. I'll be interested to see what the next story arc has in store for us. Now, before jumping into the next issue, we're getting close to the Christmas time here, just a few days away, and if you're like me, like most guys, we wait till about the last minute to buy our gifts and then hope they can get delivered in time because I still don't even want to go outside and get them. I'd rather order them because I just hate shopping. But hopefully you aren't one of those. But I do want to mention, the amount of money you spend doesn't equal the amount of love you have for somebody, so please don't spend yourself into debt. It's not worth it. Sometimes just spending time with people and letting them know how you feel is much more important than the gift that you could buy them. So please, I was reading an article that said that on average, parents are spending $475 each child they have. If you can't afford that, don't spend that. You're actually doing your family more harm than good if you're putting them in massive debt. So with that said, let's move now to G.I. Joe number 2. 164 out of 166 liked it with a 4.3 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which giving me an idea. A lot of people are reading this and enjoying it. And you know what? I'm right there. I gave this book a 9. Yeah, a 9. The writer is Joshua Williamson, artist is Tom Riley. Cobra Commander unveils the next phase of his plan. Oh yeah, this is an all-out action issue. The Valkyries. We're going to meet the Valkyries, the newest Cobra special operatives. You remember last issue, the G.I. Joes, where they were at, get hit by Cobra, and well, a lot of bad things happen there. And this issue, well, we'll continue in that. By the way, I really think this is a good cover. This also has some good alternate covers. Matter of fact, I think I enjoyed every alternate cover that I've seen for this issue. This issue has good art, good action, and boy, is it a brutal issue. And let's be honest here, the Baroness is awesome. We all love the Baroness, how can you not? But I have to say, not everybody survives in this issue. Yeah, and that leads to a little bit of a new member joining the team that Duke is not real happy about, and they don't get along real well, especially when he gives his friend that just died and names him wrong. Oh boy. He calls him heavy metal. I'm not going to tell you who died, but I think you can figure it out from there. He calls him heavy metal, and that pisses Duke off. This really is a great issue. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, you should be reading this. There's no excuse not to. And if you're not a G.I. Joe fan, I think you should go and pick up issue 1 and 2. You're going to regret it if you don't. All right, the next one I want to talk about is Deadpool number 9. 63 out of 63 liked it with a 4.3 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Yeah. Not too bad. I gave the book a 7.5. I didn't think it was so bad at all either. Writers Cody Ziegler and Alexis Quasarano. Sorry, I butchered that. Artist is Andrea De Vito. The cover of this is pretty good. It's got some interesting alternate covers as well. And anyway, we have, yes, good old Deadpool's daughter is trying to save him in this issue. But can they get past MODOK first to do it? And can they get the ex-girlfriend of Deadpool to help out? Well, you're gonna have to read that issue. Wade is back. There, I didn't make you have to read it. Wade's back. We knew it was gonna happen. Come on. They're not gonna have a Deadpool series without Deadpool too long. There's decent action in this issue, good art, and you know what? There's some really good smashing of the fourth wall in this issue as well. If you're a Deadpool fan and like the goofiness and cheesiness, you'll like this. If you're not a fan of that kind of stuff, this won't be for you. But I did enjoy this issue. I continue to enjoy Taskmaster. I hope he continues to get a lot of use in here. Maybe show a little bit more of his skills though. That Marvel tends to dump on him in that point and not show his skills as much and how deadly he can be. I'd like to see a little bit more of that in the book. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by My Wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you everybody. And let's get back to the video. Now, before I jump into the next issue, I just want to say, hey, Merry Christmas to all here, and let's celebrate and enjoy each other's company and maybe try to take some kindness and joy with others. Sometimes we have some family members that we might not agree with, especially if you're dealing with politics, right? We hear all that. Don't skew on the side of some of those idiots saying, oh, I can't see my family members because they voted against. That's so stupid. Okay, we all have individual interest and things like that, right? Right now, there's the whole debt thing going on. And both sides love to play games. They love to play well, they voted against this. No, they did not. The bills have a ton of crap in them. If the government really gave a crap what we thought about each individual bill, they'd vote on each individual item separately. They do that for political games. So my whole point, why am I doing that in comics videos? Because, hey, let's go to the comic shops. Let's get together with our families and let's get along and let those things go. Just, give your voice on that and enjoy each other. We can love each other and enjoy each other no matter what our views are. So let's talk about Daredevil number 16. 89 out of 94 liked it with a 3.8 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 7.6. I think it's pretty strong. Writer is Salman Amnad. Artist is Aaron Kuder. After literally tearing himself apart to escape from hell, Matt Murdock's soul has been fractured. Each portion is corrupted and twisted into an image of one of the 7 deadly sins. One by one, Matt has begun to conquer his demons and save his friends. But some demons aren't so easily exorcised, and, well, as Matt and one of his young wards are about to discover, they get some tough ones. This issue's got good art, and I do enjoy the story progression here, but one of the things I have to ask myself is what happens to Bullseye? He sees Bullseye's arm ripped off. Yeah. But then at the end of the issue, they look like, and the picture that his arm is on. And also remember, he has adamantium bones. So they must have ripped his arm off the socket there and out of the socket to be able to do that, because can't exactly break it. So it must have came off at the shoulder. So it's going to be interesting to see, because it makes it look like he's going to be a next issue. And if he is, we're going to see what happened to his arm there. I'm looking forward to that. Are you going to be reading Daredevil? Are you reading Daredevil? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now let's talk about one that's been a series that I've been enjoying every single issue, and that's Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 12. 718 out of 720 liked it with a 4.7 average rating. You heard me right. 718 out of 720. I gave this book a 7.7, not as high as they did, but I'll get into that why. The writer is Jonathan Hickman, artist is Mojo Tuchetto, which I butchered. And this one is a Christmas issue, if you will. We got the Parker family together with some family and friends, or so we think. Some things are going wrong, and we find out where's the new Green Goblin? Where's he at? Where's Peter's friend? And then we find out at the end, where's Peter? Now, this issue really isn't packed with action or anything. That's why I gave it a little bit of a downgrade there. But you know what? This makes up for it with good art, good dialogue in this issue, and really some good character building for the new Ultimate Spider-Man universe. As I said, not a lot of action, but boy, it does have a nice ending that has a twist to it that makes you go, oh, okay, things are getting real here. You know what? This series continues to make me happy. It doesn't disappoint. This, in my opinion, is what the Spider-Man main title should be, but yet we keep getting the same garbage out of the current Amazing Spider-Man for a while. Come on, Marvel, wake up. The sales numbers and the amount of people enjoying this and sharing this ought to give you a wake-up call about what the people want in this series. And I'm telling you, from a business standpoint, Marvel still has never learned it, and DC probably not as well. I understand you want to tease people and keep them reading. I get that from a storytelling perspective. But you still need to eventually give the people what they want, maybe just in a slightly different way or with twists or issues that run within it. And they took away what people wanted in Spider-Man, probably because of personal issues, let's be honest, with the marriage and all that, and they've never really gotten it back. They just continue to fail. This new relationship with Peter falls flat, in my opinion, and nobody seems to like Mary Jane's character love interest there at all. So come on now, wake up, pull your heads out of your butts. The spider senses are tingling and should warn you of the danger you're doing to Amazing Spider-Man. Now, after that long soapbox I just went on, you're probably thinking, boy, this guy is out for blood today. So let's talk about Blood Hunters number 5. 28 out of 33 liked it with a 3.6 average rating. Lead me to believe not a lot of people bought into this. So it is what it is. 5 issues. I think they're going to probably call it a miniseries because I think this was the last issue of it. I gave it a 7.3. Writer is Erica Schultz. Artist is Robert Gill. The Blood Coven plan to feed on Dagger's super-powered blood. Yeah, they had a plan for that. But the Blood Hunters dive in there, bust in there, whatever you want to say, and save her. Of course, that's the way it is. This should be, in my opinion, the last issue, I believe. It's mediocre art. It does have a decent ending that they try to set up a way for them to come back together if they need to help each other out. Another cool thing, though, is Cloak is back, and so they do give this setup if the sales were good enough. I think that was the original goal. If the sales were good enough, they could bring him back again. This is sort of testing the waters. And based on what I see here, well, it's not coming back. It just didn't do well enough. I think that's partly due to maybe could have had a little bit better writing and definitely could have used better art throughout, but it is what it is. Now let's talk about Green Lantern. Green Arrow, World's Finest Special number 1. Boy, does this bring back the nostalgia when I was reading Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Yeah, those good old stories with them together. I always liked that. They rub each other the wrong way, but yet they're good buddies. 162 out of 182 liked it, with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it an 8.5. I enjoyed this one. The writer's Jeremy Adams and artist Lucas Meyer. Now, you do get 2 stories here. You get a Green Lantern, Green Arrow, but you also get a Green Lantern Flash story as well. So you're going to get 2. So anyway, somebody hires somebody to kill Green Lantern and Green Arrow. And this is sort of this is going back in the past, telling a past story, and that person is none other than Deathstroke. Yeah, pretty cool. Deathstroke the Terminator. So if you want to see an early version of Deathstroke the Terminator, you get it here. But even though they caught him, he gets away. So then you see him again in the very second story in the book between none other than Barry Allen and Hal Jordan against Deathstroke. Good art, good action in this issue. There's a lot of fun characterization here. Really, this is just a fun issue that I think if you are a fan of Green Lantern, Green Arrow, or The Flash, you should get this one. Because let's be honest, let's look at the nucleus here. Green Lantern Hal Jordan seems to be the connection for these people to be so friendly and happy with each other, don't they? He makes a great buddy person. He's a great buddy book kind of character. I'd love to see more with these people, him and Flash or him and Green Arrow working together. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Do you like seeing them work together? Let me know in the comments below. So we were just talking about a World's Finest, so let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Batman Superman, World's Finest issue number 43, where 132 out of 142 liked it with a 3.8 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. And, I didn't give this one quite that high either. I gave it a 7.2. The writer's dickhead Mark Waid. Oops, did I let that slip out? No, just to be fair, I try to be unbiased. I'm not going to say I'm ever perfect at that, but I do try my best. And Frank Allen is the artist. We have a lot of pets in this, the Super Pets issue. They've gone berserk. Something's going on in Metropolis and Gotham. But where is Superman? Where is Batman? And where is Robin? We don't know. So what do we get? A Batgirl and Jimmy Olsen team up. Yep, that's what we get here. And, and it's an interesting concept. This is a decent one-shot story. So this is just probably like one that was pulled out of a drawer that hadn't been used yet before the next story arc in the series. It's got decent art as well. But to me, the dialogue is just a little bit off and a little bit silly with this issue. And I know this is it tends to lend itself to that with World's Finest, but I think it was a little too much in my opinion, a little too silly, just didn't do it for me. That's why I gave it a 7.2. Nothing terrible, but I thought it could have been better. Did you enjoy this issue if you read it? I would love to know. This next one is a series that continues to sell really well, which sort of surprises me. How well it's continued to do, but maybe I shouldn't be surprised. And that's Nightwing 121. 252 out of 258 liked it with a 4.3 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 7.3. Maybe all the ladies continue to read it to see pictures of good old Nightwing's hindquarters. I don't know what it is. The writer is Dan Waters, artist is Dexter Soy in this, and Nightwing takes his city to the brink. After tragedy strikes, Nightwing seeks to hold the gangs of Bloodhaven accountable. But alliances in this city may not be what they seem. Yeah, he gets a surprise. He gets a shocker in this issue of what's really going on. This issue has good art. It's all right. It has an interesting story, but the problem with this interesting story is it's a cliche. Matter of fact, they just did this story pretty much. They're just adding a little bit of different elements to it. They keep repeating the same story here in Nightwing. And I get it. Maybe they're struggling to find a new thing because he's 121 issues in. But come on now, let's do something different. Let's get them a little bit different story. So not a terrible issue, not bad at all. So as you see, this month seems to be a pretty good batch of comic books. Sometimes I get people going, hey, read more indies, and I do plan on it eventually, but right now I'm still in the process of rereading through the whole Captain America series. That's a lot of issues, and I only have so much time with a full-time job. I run a business on the side, and I have kids. So I can only read so many issues a month, and I do look forward to diving into some of these, and I've been taking notes and taking a list. So if you want to add to that list and tell me something else I should be checking out, I will add that to my list as to read later on as well. Well, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your holidays, and as I was trying to get to earlier, don't overspend, put yourself in a bad spot. Money doesn't buy love, and let's give a little kindness and care to each other. Thank you, everybody, for your time, and until next time. Keep it